Hi, welcome to Enlightening Your World. I'm Ginaya Hampton. This month we are focusing on sickle cell because it's Sickle Cell Awareness Month. I am here with Jazmine Jackson, who is a sickle cell warrior. Hi, Jazmine. How are you today?
I'm great. I feel good too.
That's good. I'm so glad you're feeling good. Sickle cell is a major disease in the African American community, yet a lot of us know nothing about it. So, Jazmine, if you can do us a favor and just tell us a little bit about sickle cell.
So sickle cell is a hereditary blood disorder.
Okay.
And if you ever think about it, how I learned was like by donuts. If you had a perfectly shaped donut and then a bitten donut.
Okay.
Think of that as like the perfectly shaped donuts are your normal cells, and they carry oxygen to your organs and everything that you need to basically live for 120 days.
Oh wow.
So as a sickled cell, it only lives for about 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
So then people have crisis and it gets stuck and it gets clogged in your joints, and that's what the pain comes from.
That's what I was I was reading up on it and doing a lot of studying before I did this. And I noticed that they said some people have to go in and have their system flushed so that the cells and the blood that it sticks so that it'll flush right through, because it'll stick and it'll start to hurt the joints. Everyone knows T-Boz from TLC. That's the first time I ever heard of sickle cell. And when she said that she had sickle cell and the pain that she was in. So when were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed at birth, actually.
Okay.
My mom got a letter from the hospital. I think she said maybe a month later. And it came back like, your daughter tested positive for sickle cell anemia, and then we want you to come back so we can do more tests. And that's how she found out.
Oh wow. So how is it living? You're 24 years old.
Yes, 24.
And so how has it been living with sickle cell for the last 24 years?
Living with it for the past 24 years, I mean, I can give you different segments of my life, of my childhood.
Please do.
I was in and out the hospital.
Okay.
I was at Rush University. Well, now it's Rush University, but I was at Rush Hospital, and it got to a point where the nurses knew me. I had my own room. They were like, "Hey, Jazmine, sorry you're back, but your room is ready." And I had a single room.
Wow.
So, then I went over to Laura Beta Children's Hospital, and I loved it there. But sometimes you just hate being in a hospital.
Yes.
Hate being in
You
a
want
hospital.
to be at home.
And then there were times that I felt like I wasn't going to make it out, and I was like, well, I just don't want to fight no more. I don't want to go through it anymore. And stuff happens to you, and you ask, well, why did this happen to me today? And it's
Exactly.
like, well, why did I have this? Why was I born with this? My friends aren't like this, And I was scared to tell my friends.
Okay.
I was scared to tell anybody when I was younger that I had sickle cell anemia.
I saw a young lady when I was doing research, a young lady who her friends didn't know that she had sickle cell until she was in the marching band and she was marching off and she passed out. And so she said that she was scared because she didn't want to be treated different.
Exactly.
And so when you did tell your friends eventually, did you feel like you were treated different? Did you feel like family, or like I said, your friends or your teachers or people treated you different because you had sickle cell?
No, like my friends that I grew up with, we went to grade school together, and a couple of them I went to high school together. So when they found out, they were young, so it was like, okay, well, they know what's wrong and they know how I feel. They were eager to learn, and that's what I found out about telling people, is that they were eager to learn more. And I was like, well, maybe it's not so bad telling at all.
Okay.
But sometimes going into the hospital and you're like, oh, I'm in pain, and you tell the emergency room doctors and nurses, and you get this look on your face like, I am in pain. I know you can't see it, but I am in pain, and you don't want people to judge you off of that.
Okay.
And I've actually had a couple incidents where I was judged based off being a sickle cell patient.
So how I heard some about how the pain is and what it feels like. Can you describe how the pain is and how you feel? What does it feel like?
Okay. The pain when you have a crisis, just like in your joint pain.
Okay.
Let's just go with
Your
joint pain.
Okay.
when you have a crisis, you can think of like you ever fallen on a bed of needles,
Oh.
and it's like stabbing and
Yeah.
throbbing
Yes.
and piercing. You're like, I just want it to stop.
Yes.
And you beg and plead and like, please just take it away. But it's throbbing and it might burn sometimes because it hurts so bad. And then if you have, I don't know if you read up on acute chest syndrome, but it's like they kind of call it pneumonia, but
Yes.
it's fluids in your lung. Basically what that's like is it hurts to breathe.
Oh.
And I don't know if you ever had pneumonia when you get sick.
I've never had it.
Oh, okay. So it's like taking a deep breath, you feel like your whole body is going to collapse because it just hurts so bad. And it's like putting a bowling ball through a pee hole.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And it hurts so bad. And you're like, I don't want to breathe. I don't want to eat. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do nothing. And then some people have like back pain. Some people have this pain every day.
That's what they said. Some people said that I was listening to people describe the pain, and they were saying that it feels like knives are just being poked at your joints, just stabs at your joints, and they say the pain is just so. What medication do you take? Meds? Is there something? We know that there is not a cure for it yet, but are there meds that can at least give you some type of relief? Is it like a different cocktail you have to take? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 10? What gives you relief?
Truthfully, I thank God every day because my cocktail of medicines is not like everybody else.
Very good. Thank God.
And there are people who are on 5, 6, 7 different types of medicines. But basically, right now, it's just trying to control your pain. So for me, to controlling my pain is ibuprofen and Tylenol 3. That works for me.
Wow.
That works for me. But then it's like, then that's when I'll get to, if I go to the hospital, then it's when I get to the more.
So when they come with the major.
That's when it's like, okay, well, your Tylenol isn't working. Or the ibuprofen we gave you 2 hours ago, 4 hours ago, is not working. Then now then we're talking about other stuff. But no, at home regimen, I take folic acid every day.
Okay.
I take vitamin D once a week, and right now that is my main medication. But for pain management, I have ibuprofen 600 and Tylenol 3, and it works for me, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to go any further. I don't want to step up and because I know there are people who are on like morphine and Vicodin and I think it's Dilaudid. My first time having Dilaudid, I lost my mind. I lost my mind. My first time having morphine, I lost it again. You get. I don't understand how people get high off this.
Get high out and stay, because what they always say is that they're chasing that first high. So that's how people get addicted to things, that they're chasing.
I'm not trying to chase nothing. I'm trying to chase the pain away. I can't do it. I can't do the talking to you, but I don't even know what I talk to you about. So then when you come back 20 minutes later or 2 hours later, like, oh, you fine? Yeah, well, let's talk about what you... I don't know what I said. And it takes my mom to talk about me being on morphine and Dilaudid. But I think that, like I said, the first time I had Dilaudid, I kind of lost my mind. And I was like, what is going on? But it made me think, like, the nurse was telling me, we give this to women who are having during childbirth too.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, so you mean to tell me my pain is
Your
that
pain
bad?
Is that bad?
Women are having kids off this medicine?
Wow.
And it's a whole nother world with the pain medication. But if you talk to others, like sickle cell people, they'll give you their treatment. They'll tell you, well, I know when I go into the ER, I need fluids and I need this type of medication, and it works for them. And then they're back at home 5 hours later, because it works for me.
Okay.
So I know it works for them. They tell you, well, all I need is a bag of fluids and some pain medication, and I'm okay. And that's the flushing, the flushing it
Flushing,
out.
so that, yeah, so that everything. You mentioned your beautiful mother, Miss Nikki. How is your mother's, you guys' relationship? How has her support? How has her being there? You also have a beautiful younger sister.
Yes.
How is their support helping you in your everyday life to deal with sickle cell?
My mom pushes me to talk about it more, to open up with her. Like, that's why me and my mom are so close, because I have to, like, I don't want to tell her, but I have to tell her, like, Mom, okay, I'm in pain, and I'm in this type of pain that I have to go to the hospital. And sometimes it gets to the pain where I can't talk, so I have to let her know before we go, like, I know it's going to get bad, I'm in this type of pain, you can let the doctors know.
Okay.
Because it does get hard. It does get hard. My sister, I don't know what I would do without my sister. She keeps me laughing. I I have to keep a smile on my face to let her know that I'm okay. So she won't both burst out in tears.
Yeah.
But she keeps me laughing. She's like, Jazz, are you okay? You need me to get you some water? Do you need me to do this for you, Jazz? Okay. Okay, well, let me know, Jazz. Okay. You sure, Jazz? Okay. And then she'll come back 5 minutes later. You okay, Jazz? Like, I can tell her I'm not feeling well right now. Well, Jazz, I gotta go do this, but I'll be back. You want something to eat, Jazz? And she,
that is so sweet.
I'm like, Jahari, I'm okay. You sure, Jazz? Okay, here go your medicine. I'm like, thank you, Joe. She's become my rock in it all. Her and my mom.
That's really good.
They keep a smile on my face.
Very good. So how often do the pain come? How often do you have to maybe go to the hospital? Once a week or twice a month? I mean, how does the pain get, and how often in maybe a month would you say you may have to go to the ER or you may have to go to the hospital?
Well, see, that varies.
Okay.
For me, it varies.
Okay.
Because I'm not always in pain.
Okay.
So I can have, like, this year alone, I did really well. I have not been to the ER yet. So I'm grateful for that.
Amen.
Because there are people who are in so much pain, they go every month or they go every week. But it just depends on the weather, how the weather's changing,
Okay.
and if I can control that
Okay.
pain on my own. So it does vary. It does vary. But since when I was in college, it was like clockwork. I would be in there between October and November, like clockwork.
It's so funny because I've known you for a while and I see you and it's like you look like the picture of health. You always have a beautiful smile on your face. You never, if you are in pain when I see you, I never know. Because like I said, I never knew this until somebody told me, did you know Jazmine has sickle cell? And I was like, Jazmine who? They were like, Jazmine Jackson. I'm like, Jazmine Jackson who? No, she doesn't. Nothing's wrong with that baby. But you're always in such a good mood and what keeps you in those good spirits?
What keeps me in that good spirit, man, my Lord and Savior.
Yes.
I have to thank God every day that I'm not in a worse situation that I'm
Yes.
in. Because I know it can be worse. And that's what brings my personality out. Like I said, I always have a smile on my face. I
Yes.
always try to be upbeat around people because I don't want to be known for, oh, Jazmine, the girl that's sick, or Jazmine, the girl that has sickle cell. I don't want to, in my world living with it, I don't want to bring me down. So I even laugh and joke in the ER and with the nurses and doctors, when I'm getting treated, because that's just who I am. It's a cloud of darkness, and then I let myself be the spotlight, be the shine, because I can't let that bring me down. I can't live my life and let the disease carry me into a world pit of darkness. I can't do that.
Very good. So are there any groups, with you being 24, are there any groups of younger children who are going through this, or any groups in general that you work with to help them to understand about sickle cell? Are there any groups out that other people can, know about and learn about, so that we can be aware, we can know, what's going on?
There is a sickle cell association on like 81st and
Okay.
Western. I did sign up there. As far as like teaching the or talking with other people, I mean, unless they ask about it or I say something, it's just by word of mouth.
Okay.
But when I do let people know, I do try to explain. Like I said, they are eager to know. And my motto is, if I can just touch someone or, let someone see what sickle cell is, the ups and the downs, then I've done my job. And a great example of that is my best friend from college, Brittany.
Okay.
We were talking one day, and she was like, I want to thank you. And I said, well, what for? I always help you with stuff. Well, what you think of me today? She's like, well, I want to thank you because you've opened up my eyes so much. Her mom is a physician, and she's like, I've heard about sickle cell, but I never encountered it until I met you.
Exactly.
And I would have never known you had it. She's like, and to tell you the truth, if I ever adopted a child, before meeting you, I would have told them no. My child cannot have sickle cell. She said, after meeting you, it'd be the first one I adopt. Because you changed me. You changed my life aspect on it. You changed my knowledge about it. And you've enlightened me on so many things. And I just thank you. And I was like,
that is so sweet.
Oh, Brittany.
That is so sweet. So before
Brittany,
we get ready to close, is there anything that we didn't discuss that you would want people to understand and to know about sickle cell?
Yes. It's not something you can see. It's not something you can gauge. Like Down syndrome, you can see someone with Down syndrome. Cancer, you can kind of gauge when someone's going through cancer. It's not anything you can see on the outside that will show what's happening on the inside. I try my best to keep my outside appearance up because my inside may be going through the tunnel. And my mom calls it, she's like, I tell people you can be up here in one moment and under the table in the next. And it happened at my godmother's wedding. I was on top of the world Sunday and beneath the world 20 minutes later. So, I mean, it's just understanding what that person is going through. When that person said they're in pain, try to gauge what that pain is and see how you can help. I don't like for people to be like, oh, are you okay? Let me give you a hug. No. Give me some pain medication, 30 minutes, and some water. I'll be okay. But just check up on that person. Let that person know that you're there for them, that anything that they need. Because it's just not wanting to lose that person that you have. Because, speaking from a sickle cell point, not losing that person that you want, not losing that person that you have. Okay. Because you've gone through something. And you can push people away by that. And if they do tend to push you away, just keep pulling in tighter. Like, don't fall by the wayside because they think that you don't want to be with them, or because in a minute I can be like, yes, let's go out. No, let's not go out. I want to be by myself. Let me alone.
Leave me alone. Let me
but then
be by myself.
Just give them some space and then come back 20 minutes later. You okay? You want some food? And not necessarily cater to them, but just let them know that you'll be there for them.
Cool. Well, Jazmine, I thank you so very much for this conversation. Thank you for enlightening our world.
No
we thank
problem.
you so very much. Again, this has been Enlightening Your World, and I'm Ginaya Hampton.